Good morning, it's Devorah. It's InStory Live, and hang on while I share on over to our wonderful Facebook group, the InStory World. And if you are following along live, write a comment, and then I'll be able to say hello to you. So it's very exciting. We're starting. Good morning, Kay. We're starting to welcome people into the InStory show, which the interviews are going to go live on Monday, the 14th, and excuse me, morning voice. And everybody is coming into the InStory World Facebook group now, and you have an opportunity to listen to an InStory Way guided process, tap into your soul's voice through image and metaphor, share that, connect, and tune into your soul calling. And so as I was standing quiet for a moment, thinking about what do I want to say, I really, in these morning videos, I really try to stand present in the moment and bring forward something that's coming through me that I hope is relevant and resonant for you. And this morning it was kind of that feeling of how do I be a channel, a channel or vessel for something elevated, something connected, something intuitive, aligned. And what came for me is what has always been my mission, is how do I bring God's light into this world? And that is really what I'm always trying to do. And the second step of that is how do I bring God's light into this world so that I help you find that light in yourself, so that you begin to bring that light out in the world. Like that idea of God's light is your soul's light. And way back I did, when I was very first learning to have a business and be online, one of the things we're always learning is how to really connect to someone deeply and do enrollment, meaning enrolling someone not in my thing, but enrolling someone in their own vision, enrolling someone to take a stand and a leap for themselves. And so it was called a sales conversation, but really it's not sales, it's really service, it's really connection. And so I had such a fun, this was a few years ago, on one of my walks where I do a lot of my expansive, deep work, I had what I called a sales conversation with God. And it was such a great experience. And I remember, the reason I'm thinking about it now is because what I said about like God's light is your soul's light, it was when you tell your soul story, it's like you're telling God's story, because the only way God's story is told is by us telling our stories. And it was this beautiful message that's when you tell your story. Like I was enrolling people to tell their story. So here I'm imagining I'm having a sales conversation to enroll God to become able to tell God's story. God's like, when you tell your story, your soul story, that's you telling God's story. Hi, Sandra. That's you telling God's story, your soul. Like we are in this, like when you're connected, we're in this unified oneness. I was like the other day, I was talking about this when I'm really focused in what I do works, it's what I do, meaning my I that is connected to that I that is God inside me, that's my connection to my soul, that's connected to God, that's in this flow, right? So that's what I want for you. I want you to feel that you can get still enough in the center of your being to feel that connection to your soul. And that's why I'm always talking about your soul story. Because how do you express the essence of your soul except with your story? It's so amazing. And really, for those of you who are new to following me, I'm Jewish, and I love Jewish spiritual story, ritual, tradition. It's just so exciting and wondrous. And so I often go into the biblical stories that are metaphors so much for life. And that, like, how did God bring God's presence into us is through story. Hi, Donna. And so that sense of connecting to story, and a lot of the stories in the Torah, the Bible, are our stories. So it goes the other direction. our stories are also God's stories. And when they're really from your soul and your soul's work, it is what lights up the world. So I started with asking that I could be that channel for God's presence, and the way it always comes through for me is, how can I bring God's light out into this world? And that's what you do. Donna's here, who's a friend and in our community, who does a lot of bringing God's light out in the world. But that's what I believe we all do. And sometimes it takes a little bit of support and deep work to find the shape of it. What is the shape of what you're meant to bring out in the world? How does it look? How does it feel? What does that mean? What is your soul calling? What's new that's calling you forward? And I believe we have wisdom. And our wisdom is filled with that light of, how did you get back up? How have you found resilience, and how have you found light through your dark times? And how do you tell your story and shine that light? So that's what excites me. That's what's happening. The InStory show is coming up. I will post the link to join the InStory show. It's free. It's starting on the 14th, and you're going to be able to listen to really inspiring creative women in all different fields, from the arts to astrology to fitness to healing, personal development, sharing their stories of how they made their soul calling into their life work. So I love hearing people's stories, and I think you will be inspired as well by those stories. So I'll put the link in later. For now, I'm gonna blow the shofar, which is what we do in the month of Elul, the month before the Jewish New Year, called Rosh Hashanah. And I'm gonna give you a moment if you want to stand up, get centered, feel connected, and have an intention that the shofar is, this time it's like blowing open something that's been closed, and feel what the possibilities are that come forward for you. All right? So stand up. Here we go. Always in the silence after the blowing of the shofar, feel the stillness, the opening, the possibilities, feel the answering of your requests, feel that you are able to receive from God what is flowing down to you. And also, like, let's in this moment just pray. I'm in Oregon. Let's pray for rain, for the wind to calm, for the fires to put out, for people to be safe. Bring down blessing. Just in this moment, call down blessings. May the opening for blessings be opened. May we feel the blessings of rain, of healing, of safety, of joy, of abundance flowing down into us, into our world, into all who need it. So just take this moment, call in the blessings that you need for you, and let's call in the blessings that we need for our world. So with that, sending you blessings. Remember, you are a blessing. What I say at the end of everything I do, every time what I say in farewell, I really mean that. If you can go out in the world and share your story, you will make a difference. You will find your purpose, and you will see that you are a blessing to others. And that is my wish for you. So take it in. Let me know how you're doing. I would love to hear from you. Remember, always go out in the world, share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. Bye, folks.